Hey there, ready to dive into some AI?
Always.
Awesome. Today, it's all about GANs.
GANs.
Yeah, Generative Adversarial Networks.
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
Right, they're behind some really wild stuff online.
Like what?
Okay, have you ever seen those faces online that look almost too real?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Or those apps that can like turn your photos into paintings?
Uh-huh.
That's GANs right there.
It's amazing what they can do now, you know?
Seriously.
If you look at figure 3 from the research,
Yeah.
the stuff GANs made back in 2014
Wow.
compared to like 2018,
No,
it's mind-blowing, like night and day.
totally. They've almost like cracked the code of making stuff look real, you know?
Yeah, from scratch.
So for everyone listening, we're going to break down how these AI things work.
Sounds good.
And don't worry, if you're not a tech whiz, we'll keep it nice and clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
The idea behind GANs is, well, kind of simple.
Yeah.
Even if the math behind it gets a bit much.
Makes sense.
Think of it like two computer programs, right?
Okay.
But they're playing a game against each other.
Ooh, interesting. Like what kind of game?
So one is called the generator.
Okay.
And it's like, imagine an art forger
Oh.
trying to make like these perfect copies.
I get it.
Then you have the other one called the discriminator.
All right.
It's like the art detective
Ah,
trying to spot the fakes.
gotcha.
So they're always trying to outsmart each other.
Oh, that's cool.
The generator is making stuff that looks real, like images and whatnot.
Right.
And the discriminator is trying to tell, is this real? Or is this from the generator?
So it's like a constant back and forth.
Exactly. And they learn from each other.
Huh. Neat.
With each round, they get better.
Makes sense.
It's called adversarial training.
Adversarial training.
And that's what makes GAN so powerful.
So how do they actually, like, learn?
Yeah. It's all about feedback, you know?
Okay.
And there's this special thing called the minimax loss function.
Minimax loss function.
It's basically like the scorekeeper for their game.
Interesting.
I can even see it, like visually,
Oh, really?
in equation 3 from the research. So the generator, it's trying to get the lowest loss.
So, like, the fewest mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it wants to fool the discriminator.
That makes sense.
Now the discriminator
Yeah.
wants a high loss on the fakes, but low on the real stuff.
Oh, so it wants to be a really good detective.
Exactly. Like super accurate.
Gotcha.
So lower score for the generator, higher for the discriminator on the fake stuff means they're both getting good.
Like a real competition, huh?
Yeah. And as they play, you know,
Okay.
the generator stuff gets more and more real.
Wow.
And the discriminator, it gets better at spotting those fakes.
That's wild.
And you can actually see this happening in figure 6.
Okay.
It shows how their data like changes over time until they're kind of like matching up.
That's so cool.
But the whole point is for the generator to get so good that the discriminator can't even tell anymore.
Whoa, like it's perfect.
Pretty much. That means the generator's making stuff that's basically just like the real thing.
Wow.
And the crazy part, they do all this without needing tons of labeled data.
Wait, labeled data.
So in normal machine learning, right, you need these massive data sets and everything is tagged,
Tagged.
like with information about it.
Okay.
Let's say it's pictures of cats.
Right.
Every picture needs to say cat,
Ah, I see.
but that takes forever.
Yeah, that would be a lot of work.
And it can cost a lot too.
So how do GANs get around that?
Well, they use unsupervised learning.
Unsupervised learning.
It's like, imagine you're teaching someone to paint,
Okay.
but you don't explain anything.
Really?
You show them a ton of paintings.
Huh.
They learn by just like looking,
Huh?
seeing the patterns and stuff.
Interesting.
So GANs are kind of like AI art students.
Ah, they learn by example.
Exactly. And because they don't need those labels,
Yeah.
they can be used for like way more things.
Oh, that's sick.
Where getting labeled data would be like impossible.
Makes sense.
And this is where things get really cool.
Okay, I'm ready. What can they actually do?
Besides making those freaky realistic faces, you mean?
Yeah. Give me the good stuff.
Oh, we've got some good stuff, all right.
Awesome. So before we got sidetracked by all those cool things GANs can do,
Yeah, those are pretty wild.
we were talking about, some of the challenges they face.
Right, like that mode collapse thing.
Exactly. And the training instability.
Those sounded pretty tricky to deal with.
Yeah, they can be tough nuts to crack.
But researchers like always finding ways around these things.
Oh, absolutely. They're a persistent bunch, that's for sure.
So what are they doing about these GAN challenges?
Well, for training, it's all about making it more robust.
Uh-huh.
Remember that analogy of the spinning plates?
Yeah, trying to keep them all going at once.
Exactly. Researchers are trying to make those plates spin a bit smoother.
So like less wobbly, less chance of crashing.
Precisely. New algorithms, new architectures for the networks.
That makes sense. A smoother training process would definitely make things easier.
For sure. And then there's mode collapse.
Right. How do you stop the GAN from getting stuck making the same thing over and over?
That's the big question. They're working on ways to like automatically detect it.
Interesting.
And then prevent it from happening.
So it doesn't fall into that creative rut.
Exactly. Keep the outputs diverse, you know?
Makes sense. So it sounds like they're making progress on like reliability and all that.
Oh yeah, big time. Making GANs more versatile too.
Cool. So let's talk about where they can actually be used, like real world stuff.
Okay, yeah, let's dive into applications.
What areas do you see them having the biggest impact in the future?
Well, medicine is a big one.
Oh, wow. How so?
Think about generating medical images.
Like what kind of images?
X-rays, scans, stuff like that.
For doctors to use.
Well, more for training other AIs, actually.
Right. Okay. So the AIs can learn to like read X-rays and stuff.
Exactly. Especially in fields like radiology.
Mm-hmm.
Getting real data can be really hard.
Why is that?
Privacy concerns, mostly.
Oh, right. Sensitive information, all that.
But a GAN could just create synthetic images.
So like fake X-rays that look real.
Yeah, but without any patient data involved.
That's pretty clever.
And it means you could train AIs way faster.
Wow, that would be huge. Especially if they could learn to spot like diseases and stuff.
Absolutely. More accurate diagnoses, faster development of tools, all that.
That's incredible. GANs could totally revolutionize healthcare.
For sure. And then there's art and entertainment, remember?
Oh, yeah. You mentioned that earlier. I'm curious about that.
Well, artists are already using GANs,
Really? Like how?
For creating new kinds of art, pushing the boundaries.
Like AI-generated art.
Exactly. Abstract paintings, music, even fashion design.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just for like scientists and tech people anymore.
Not at all. It's a whole new tool for creatives.
It's almost like blurring the lines between human and machine,
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And of course, there's entertainment.
Games and movies and stuff.
Big time. Think about games that look hyper-realistic.
It's so real. You can't even tell it's a game.
Exactly. Or movies with insane special effects.
That'd be so cool.
It's already happening, actually.
Whoa, really?
GANs can make 3D models for movies, generate special effects, all that.
The level of like realism must be insane.
Oh, it's getting there. Which brings up an important point.
Okay, what's that?
All this talk of creating realistic stuff, it has some downsides.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, think about deepfakes.
Right, those fake videos that look real.
Exactly. GANs could be used for that kind of stuff.
And to spread like misinformation and stuff.
Yeah, it's a big concern.
So it's like any powerful tech can be used for bad stuff too.
It's a constant balancing act, you know?
Makes sense.
We need safeguards, guidelines, all that.
To prevent the bad stuff from happening.
Exactly. Protect people's privacy, make sure the information is accurate.
Right, because if you can't tell what's real anymore, that's kind of scary.
It is, but I think the key is transparency.
Okay.
People need to know how these things work,
Yeah, so we can be aware of the risks.
Exactly. Education is huge. Public awareness.
The more we understand, the better we can deal with the challenges.
Absolutely. And that goes for like all aspects of AI, not just GANs.
Right. It's not just about the tech itself, but how we use it.
Exactly. It's about the impact on our lives, our values, all that.
Well said.
Yeah.
So besides medicine, art, and entertainment, are there any other areas you see GANs making a big splash?
Oh, tons. But one I'm really excited about is personalized learning.
Personalized learning, like what do you mean?
Think about education tailored to each individual student.
Whoa, that would be amazing.
Right. Imagine AI tutors that create custom lessons.
Based on what you're good at, what you need help with.
Exactly. It could completely transform how we learn.
I love that idea. So it sounds like the future of GANs is pretty full of possibilities.
Oh, yeah. Both good and potentially challenging.
We've covered a lot today, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm really eager to hear your final thoughts on all this, though. All right, we're back, ready to wrap up this GAN adventure.
It's been a wild ride, hasn't it?
Seriously. From those, like, crazy realistic faces we talked about to the potential to change, like, healthcare and art.
It's mind-blowing.
GANs are seriously powerful, that's for sure.
No doubt about it.
But before we go totally overboard with the excitement,
Yeah.
I think it's important to step back for a second.
Okay.
Look at the bigger picture.
A big picture, yeah.
What do GANs actually mean for like society as a whole?
That's the question, isn't it?
Right. Every new tech has its like opportunities and its challenges.
For sure.
And GANs are no different.
Not at all.
I mean, we talked about some ethical stuff earlier, like those deep fakes.
And misinformation.
Yeah, but what other societal impacts should we be thinking about?
Well, one that comes up a lot is jobs.
Jobs.
Yeah, as GANs get, more sophisticated,
Right.
they might start doing things that humans currently do.
Oh, so like replacing people's jobs.
Potentially, yeah, in certain industries.
That's a valid concern, especially with all this talk about AI taking over.
It's definitely something to consider, but history shows us something interesting.
Okay, what's that?
When tech advances, it often creates new jobs too.
Oh, so it's not just about jobs disappearing.
Right. Think about like the internet.
Okay.
Tons of new industries popped up because of it.
That's true. So maybe it's more about adapting,
Oh, exactly. Learning new skills for those new jobs.
And in the case of GANs, there will be a need for people who can like manage them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Developing them, implementing them, all that.
So instead of being scared of the robot uprising, we should be thinking about how to work with them.
Absolutely.
Use their powers for good.
Precisely. And it goes beyond just jobs,
Okay, like what?
GANs make us think about like fundamental stuff.
Fundamental stuff.
Yeah, like what does it mean to be creative?
Oh, interesting.
Who's the author when an AI makes something?
Right, like if a GAN makes a painting, is it the artist?
Exactly. Or if it composes a song, who owns the copyright?
Those are tough questions.
They are, and there's no easy answers.
It's almost like philosophical,
It is, and it's a conversation we all need to be part of.
Not just the tech people.
Right? Artists, philosophers, everyone.
Because in the end, tech is about more than just like the gadgets. It's about how we use it, how it affects us.
Absolutely. It's about our values, our lives, all that.
Well said. So I think it's time for that final thought you mentioned.
Yeah, good idea.
We've talked about all the amazing things GANs can do, right?
Create, enhance, transform, all that.
But I think the real question is, what do we do with them?
Exactly. Will we use them to make things better?
Like a better world?
Yeah, where technology is helping humanity.
Or will we let it, like, divide us?
Or erode trust, blur the lines between real and fake.
Those are some serious consequences to consider.
They are. The future of GANs, it's not set in stone.
Oh, I like that.
It's a story we're still writing.
And we all have a part to play.
Exactly. So to everyone listening, the choice is ours.
What a powerful message to end on.
It's true, though.
It really makes you think about the responsibility we have with any new technology, really.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into GANs.
It's been a fascinating journey, that's for sure.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.
Okay, couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time.